Hi there, boys and girls, and fish keepers everywhere. We are at BioAquatics, which is in the middle of Sarasota. This wonderful farm by one of the top breeders in the country, Andres Ryan, who's not here right now, but we're going to look at his farm. Now, you may have seen this once before. Corey featured it about a year ago on Aquarium Co-op. I want to try to do a little more in-depth to really give you a feel for how to breed hard-to-breed fish, what Andres does to try to make that happen. So I'm calling this the same as the stream I just completed by the same name, The Next Step. So here's going to be some pictures, and I'll do a description as we walk through. Okay, so Andres has two buildings. This is the main one. We're going to not go in that. Well, let's go in that first, because the other building, which is a Quonset hut, is full of vats that I featured in my live stream. And I tried to do this building, got 5 feet inside, and the signal on my phone cut out, so I couldn't go any further. So that's why we're doing this as a video, so I'll have a little of both. But I will finish up the video by doing the Quonset hut. Here's some buckets with plants out in front, just for you to get a feel for. Now, Andres is not trying to raise these here. He's just getting starters that he can pull out and plant. So these are in pots. You can see the wonderful root system. He's got Ledwigia, and he probably collected this locally. Also full of tadpoles. Look at all the tadpoles. That's parrot's feather and more lead, more parrot's feather. So let's go inside and see what's going on here. This is a kind of a combination room. He feeds. He used to do peck out here. He's not doing it in here anymore. Just not enough room. But let's start at one end and work our way over. The food that he feeds is the highest nutrition food on the market, and this is all that's chemicals. This is all Japanese. Most of it's Japanese. It feeds a lot of that. And this is some microworm culture for baby fish. And here we go. He's hatching brine shrimp. Beautiful pair of black veils. Angels. Another pair, some marbles. These are all breeding pairs. This little girl is stuck back here. It's probably hiding. That's the male hiding from the female. Or from me, it's hard to say which. I think from the female. Only one fish in there. So you can see what he has for breeding here is a plain, these are 10-gallon tanks with a slate or a piece of tile in this case, a sponge filter. These are the low flat sponge filters. And he's feeding live food. Here's a pair of albino veils. Wow, I didn't see them in a while. And are they pearl scale? Yes, they are. Albino veil pearl scale. That is the joy of the hobby. Right there, look at these guys. Stunning. I hope they're producing. He's got 3-4 pair of them ranging down here. Down below is some hatch out. Let's see. They're baby somethings. That's not angels. Nor is that. I don't know what he's hatching out here. Convicts or something. He has a red can't remember what it's called, red something, a convict. That's a stunning fish. You can see the eggs look like they're not going to make it. They look like they're pretty well gone by. These guys, their tubes are down. That looks like some eggs are or were on there. These are all albino veil, and some of them are pearls. They're not all pearls. Pretty fish. They look real hardy too. It's difficult to get albinos, angels that have got any real integrity, but those actually look real good. These eggs look like they are healthy and maybe will hatch. They're still not hatched. Right. We're getting a lot of blacks. That's far and away the most popular of the angels. And then some mixed pairs and more and more. What's down here? Here's a vat full of Java moss. Loaded with Java moss. And some, I don't know what they are, little fish swimming on the top. So a piece of Java fern in there. Lots of Java moss. Look at that. Duboisi. A breeding colony of Duboisi in about a 40-gallon tank, bare, with a sponge filter. Don't see water going into it. And next to it is a firemouth, colony of firemouths. We're looking at the next style over here. Here's some baby angels. Look like they might be albinos. Baby albinos. He does have a few. Cool. Here's some other baby angels. About 20 or 30 maybe. More baby angels in there. Don't see anything here at this point. There are eggs in there, but they don't look. See if anything's scooting. No, yes, there's babies squirming around on the bottom. Can you see them? Wigglers wiggling on the bottom. But before we go to the other side, let's cut back into here. This is where he has shellies. You might not be able to see very much. Here we go. Oh, look at the babies. Shell dwellers. One male and half a dozen females. There's about 10 or 15, maybe 20 babies here. More shellies. Notice there's no light on these tanks. They're kept in twilight, sand bottom that's dug up quite a lot. A dominant male. There's a baby. Dominant male with a few females. There's some more babies. More of the same. There are a bunch of babies over there. So these are coming along. They look good too. They look just really healthy. I need to find out what he's feeding, but probably it's the Japanese pellet. It's a small little pellet, very high quality, about 52% protein. More shellies. Don't see babies in here. See one dominant male. There's a baby. Two, couple, 3 or 4. There's inverted pots in here. It looks like there might be a dominant and a subdominant male. This one's kind of hanging to the side. This is a different species too. I'm not up on my shellies, so I'll have to follow up and see what the species are. But that's a real pretty one. Look at this. Pretty little fish. They're kind of stubby. They're not like other Tanganyikas. Kind of more of the same. Let's see, frying in there. A lot of frying too. Look at this. Full of babies. I've got to turn around and walk the other way. Let's see, he's got a big tank here. A couple of them. I don't see anything in them though. Let's go around to the other side. The tanks down below that have more Tanganyikas. Set up the same way. Tanganyikas are colony spawners, so they will thrive in a colony environment where there's no other species. There's a bunch of baby somethings, angels. It's over here. Jolies. Kind of a mixed bag in there. What's down here? Look like shellies. Oh, these are grow outs. Shelly grow outs. These are all of these little 2-gallon containers are full of baby angels. All the way down. Another shelly tank set up for breeding. Inverted pots, no light, enough sand for them to move it around. You don't do a dirted tank with these guys because you're not growing plants with them. They live in deep water typically with a lot of rock. So this is kind of a duplication of that sort of environment. So another one down below, same idea. See anything in there? Rainbows. Now he's got rainbows here, which is obviously not breeding because there are no mops here, but I'm sure when he's ready, he'll put mops in this. There's a couple of shellies in here too. He'll put mops in. He threw these rainbows in on top of shellies. Probably to create dither, I don't know. Pretty rainbows though. Easy to breed, but they take forever to raise. It's a tank full of baby shellies. Probably 100 of them in here. And it may be a pair creating them. Kind of looks like it is. There's somebody sticking their head out of the pot. So that's that. Let's see if we can get over here to the other side. Can't from here. Gotta go around. More baby angels. Baby angels. And more baby angels. Goes on forever. Thousands of baby angels. Let's see what's over here. We don't have Andres with us today. He's gone to the post office to deliver. These are Uaru. Young, small Uaru. Now notice again, this is not a lighted room. He's keeping these fish in twilight. Some breeder angels. Fish don't need light. Plants need light. And here's the water system. It has water flowing back out of all the tanks, the overflow. And it runs through a sand bed here, and then a big vat. Has a chiller on it. That's interesting. Another big vat in the back. Don't know, that looks like Tanganyika's in there. Can't tell, might be Africans, Malawi. Alright. So we're going to go over to the other side now, where we were, and finish up that room, and then we'll take a look at the Quonset hut, at the vats. Let's see what's in here. We did it this row, and there are 2 more rows. I don't know if we can get around. I think we can. Angels. Oh my word, look at these. Oh my. They are reds. Look at that. Oh. More of the same. Now that's more a real koi. These I would call reds. These are koi. Beautiful fish. The females are certainly right. Needs to be spawning those guys. Marbles. Oh, look at that. Big, beautiful albino veil pearl scale. Oh, a couple of them. And they're probably gone by. They're probably not going to breed. More of the same. More really big, big angels. Pretty blacks. Here's a pair of pearl scales. These got separated out. These are in 29s. That's a 20. A lot of big fish. Wow, there's a blue. Look at that. Big blue male that he's crossing with a pearl. And not a pearl, can't think, what is it called, that color? My brain won't work. That's a blue pearl scale. Wow. Wow, pretty fish. We may as well do every row here. We looked at those. Let's just scoot down here. There's about 500 babies. What in the world is this? These are rice fish. About 1,000 rice fish. And nothing. Let's see. We can't get to the other side from here. We gotta go back. If we're gonna do it. South Americans. These are the red Honduran convicts. He's got a few Synodontis. Now these are grow out, so this is exactly the kind of tank he breeds them in. But these are all obviously grow outs. Hundreds of Synodontis. Oh my God. Do you know what this is? That's the pair. Is that a stunner or what? That's the Honduran Reds. And these are, what are these? With the big hump on the head. I'm gonna have to find out. And the blue eye. South American. I don't know what they are. A few hundred baby convicts. Some black angel babies. Empty tank, more black angel. Look at it, looks like dirt. There's little specks. Look at that, isn't that cute? Amazing. Little baby angels. What's down here? Schooling something. Don't know. There are fish I've never seen. Let's see if we can get out of here now. I'm trapped. Alright, we're going to do the Quonset hut because we haven't done that yet on this, although I've done it on the stream. Let's get over and check out the vats. A good example of how to breed fish for volume. Left the door open with my air conditioning going. That's not real slick. And the motor running. At least it should be cool when I'm through. There. Alright, vats. There's a Quonset hut full of vats. Now what I want to do here is show you this vat breeding operation, because this is kind of unique. There's Synodontis in here. I've got different species of them. You can kind of see them maybe darting around the pipe. Here they go. So he pulls spawn out of here and grows them out. This is probably, I don't know, Tanganyika's in here, I think. They're hiding in the pipe, in the pots. He's got pots sitting on tiles. So these are like 500 gallon, 400 gallon vats. Bare bottom. There's water going in and overflowing out through the pipe back there. So there's pretty continuous water flow, water exchange. And he's feeding a pelletized food and some live, but mostly pelletized. Feeds once a day. And moderately heavily. Not a lot of fish in these. In some of them there's only a pair. When he sets up, it's a pair. And then he starts getting babies. This is full of shrimp. You can see some of them on the pipes. Looks like blue or black shrimp. It does have more shrimp. Maybe we can get a look at them. That's not his shrimp breeding operation. I'll show you that in a minute. More of the same. Tanganyikas. These are more Tanganyikas. Look at them coming up for food. Now these smaller have grown out in here. So he's colonizing these fish and pulling young fry out. He'll pull out a few hundred at a time. There's some Synodontis down there. Tanganyika is a colony fish. They really prefer breeding in colony. They care for their young. And that's really what you're seeing in here. It's a pretty full colony. Although I didn't see any babies, he's probably pulling them out. More Tanganyika. I want to go around here. So the vat system allows, there's some plants in this one, allows for the fish to be very stable, secure, in a quiet environment. Stress-free, safe, where they can be paying attention to themselves and not somebody coming along to try to eat them. Now I've seen shrimp in these vats. I'm not seeing much of anything right now. These have been his shrimp vats. They may still be. Maybe backing off on shrimp. I don't know. I can't tell. I'm just not seeing much. Some baby fish in there. Well, that's interesting. He's got look like Christmas swords in here with babies falling through. Some and some not falling through. More of the same. Well, these are, I guess that's what they are. They look like guppies. They are guppies. Wow. That is a pretty guppy. Wow. Is that what this is? Sure is. Look at this. Wow. Not bad, guys. Nice. Obviously trying to get them producing. Or oh, he's got babies. He's got babies. Look at them all. So they're falling through a false bottom. So he's got his breeders in here with a false bottom vat that's suspended at a plastic container with screen on the bottom, and it's about quarter-inch, maybe quarter-inch mash. So the babies go through, and they're growing out in here. So it's kind of the reverse of what people normally do, isn't it? He's keeping his adults in a smaller container and giving the babies plenty of room, which means they're going to grow quicker. That's pretty cool. And this is probably shrimp in here. It keeps the shrimp on grass. Although I'm not seeing any. Hard to say. Alright, we've done the vats and we've done the tanks. There are lots of vats like this and tanks just sitting around with little or nothing in them that are just really sweet little tanks. So, there we have it. There's a more in-depth view of Andres Ryan breeding operation. We'll get back to him at some point and be able to talk with him about feeding and how he controls pH. There is a video of the Venice Aquarium Society where Andres did a program on adjusting pH. You might want to look for that. It's a remarkable piece, very interesting, things you never knew about and never thought about. Thanks for tuning in. See you again soon. This is Father Fish at BioAquatics. Look him up on Get Gills and spend some money. He has fabulous fish. See you all later. Thank you.